morning, everybody. This is Jean here, Jean Truelove from Truelove Quilts for you. I hope you're having an okay day. It is cold and rainy here in Pennsylvania, but we're nice and warm. Actually, no, we're not. The heating went off. The heating went off down here in our, I was told that our lower level apartment down here in the basement of our son's home where we're temporarily living, the heat went off the other night, and boy, it was 11 degrees outside, 11 Fahrenheit, and it was cold in here. It got cold very quickly. Actually, this basement stays lovely and warm because actually the heating system is right in the other room, and so it's lovely and warm, but a valve broke, and our son is in Florida with his family, and who owns the home. So we called and he said, oh, the pilot light went out. We're not used to gas at all. It's natural gas from the road, I guess. So he's like, you have to light the pilot light. It's a slightly older system. So Ian was on the ground with a lighter, and I'm like, we're going to blow ourselves up. We don't know anything about gas. But he got out, but he didn't get it working. We had to call a person in, and they said that a valve switch is broken. It's not firing something, but they got it working. That was 3 days ago. This morning we woke up and it's freezing cold again. So I think they did say they have to replace this thing, whatever. So I was cold this morning, but never mind. We have little fan heaters on. It'll get lovely and warm again. So I just wanted to share with you some more sharing is caring, or some more projects that people have followed from my tutorials. That makes me so happy, as I'm not doing a tremendous amount of sewing. I have done in the past, as you know, blah, blah, blah. But people have followed me for several years now and have made some projects with my tutorials. So I have about 3 or 4 of them here, and I think you enjoy it. You see it, and to go back on my tutorials, as I said, I do have hundreds of them, and to see what people have made. The first one, with no further ado, this is from Peggy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read the little story that they send me, and then I'll put up the pictures. This is from Peggy. You know who you are, in Lubbock, Texas. I just wanted to show you how you helped with my placemats. They look so precious with the teapots appliqued on them. I only started sewing within the past year. I'm 82. Wow, you go, girlfriend. So you have been a godsend to me in my effort to create something beautiful. Oh, Peggy, isn't that lovely? No quilts for me, though. I don't have the space for, so small projects are perfect. No quilts for me either here, Peggy, because I don't have the space. So this is why I'm doing this right now. Thank you so much for how you are inspiring and encouraging. It makes me so happy, Peggy. And without further ado, here are Peggy's lovely teapot applique placemats. You've done so well, Peggy. Really awesome. Your placemats are super, and you should be very, very proud of yourself. The next one is from Lucy. Dear Jean, I followed your free motion quilting instructions for your Drunkard's Path quilt. Now, I made a quilt years ago where it's called a Drunkard's Path. That's a pieced block. I actually applique my block. I'm going to see if I can put that link to the tutorial below. If you see it, you see it. If you don't, you don't. I don't know how to do that. I was delighted with the free motion quilting I managed. That's awesome. I made the quilt with curved seams and no pins were used. I believe you did applique. Look at that. I jumped ahead of myself. Thank you for all you do for us, even during your current predicament. Yeah. I am the 7th child in a family of 7. And not has as many as 10, but large enough. I have 4 daughters. I understand large families. I live in Oxford, England, about 60 miles from London. My husband's a Londoner. He grew up in Edmonton, and then we moved to Norwich in England. I lived in England for almost 10 years, and we had 6 of our 10 children in England, and then we had 4 children here in Pennsylvania. By the way, I found your channel years ago after buying my Juki 2200 TL QVP Mini. Best machine ever. I wanted help with free motion quilting, and you had recently bought yours. I'm hooked on your YouTube channel. That's so exciting. Much love and best wishes for your future, Lucy. Isn't that awesome? Yeah, you actually pieced this. This was curved piecing, what Lucy has done. I cheated and I did an applique just with a satin stitch, but she did an actual curved piecing. That is fantastic. Lucy, you've done beautifully. Your free motion quilting is awesome. So here, folks, is Lucy's Drunkard's Path quilt. Well done, Lucy. Unbelievable. I love that. I love that. I've made that several times, that quilt. I find it easy to applique a circle and then I cut it in quarters. I think I have a tutorial on that also. So this is from Deborah. This makes me smile because I made these. I don't know where they are. They're packed away somewhere. I'm not quite sure. Hi, Miss Jean. I have 2 items to share. I love the first one. One is my pie pot holder. If you try to put that link also for a tutorial that I made for a silly little pot holder that looks like a pie. And I'll be showing you Deborah's. I made mine with, I've made several of them. You can get novelty fabrics that have fruit on them printed, and it's like a photographic quality. But mine were like blueberries, and then I did raspberries. Oh, I did, no, not strawberries. What else did I do? Blueberries, blackberries. I forget the ones I did, but boy, they look realistic. And then I used rickrack on mine as like the lattice of the dough, and so did Deborah. You'll be seeing that in a second. They are delightful. They are really sweet. They really do bring a smile to people's faces, because at first glance it looks like you made pie because they're so realistic looking. The other is my Cathedral Windows pillow quilt. Hers is beautiful. This is a much larger size window than I've done in the past. I love the contrast of the bright white against the navy. I love this blue. This is beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, it's so pretty. The quilt by the pillow is one of my mom's, made using antique hand sewn blocks from her mother and grandmother. Isn't that awesome? I hope you are doing well and look forward to making my yearly memorial cards again this year. I'll tell you, Deborah, she has sent me a beautiful card around the memorial of Christ's death, which we celebrate. And they're just so handmade, crafty, just beautiful. Just so lovely. And that's from Deborah in Vancouver. Your pie pot holder and your Cathedral Windows pillow. That is stunning. Really, really very beautiful. And you've put buttons on it, I believe, from this picture. I don't have the larger picture in front of me. But your pillow and your dear mom and grandmom's quilt. How awesome is that? Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Deborah. I really appreciate it. My next one is from Vivian. Hi, Jean. Vivian here from Ireland. Oh, isn't that so cool? Here are a couple of photos of projects I followed using your tutorials. I'm not very good at quilting yet. Yeah, you are. And was not very successful with a Dear Jean quilt. But I will give it another try soon. Thank you, Jean, for all you do with your tutorials and catch up. And it feels like I'm listening to a friend, chatting most of the time. Much love to you and your family from Ireland. How awesome is that? Now, one of my more popular tutorials is my bucket bagged square bottomed graduated size fabric boxes. Super easy to make. I've got a lot of people who've made them for a baby's room or a craft room. They're really super, and Vivian actually made them, and also Vivian made my patchwork tote. That is so sweet. It's a tutorial which it folds into itself and makes a smaller bag, but then you open it up and it's a lovely big super patchwork tote bag, and hers is just delightful. So thank you so much, Vivian, for sharing your lovely projects. Good job, Vivian. My second to the last one is from Sue. Hi, Jean. I don't post or comment on your YouTube channel, but I thought I'd share with my email one of my makes. I've sewn quite a number of these tissue covers for myself and some friends, but this is one of my favorites. I love peanuts since I was a kid and recently found some really cute fabric, so I had to make a special tissue cover box that just makes me smile. I added an applique also. I truly was sorry to hear about all the Truelove calamities. Yeah, we've had our fair share, so, but you all seem to be hanging in the best you can. The last several years has surely taken a toll on so many folks. I hope you will soon find a permanent home and start a new chapter in your life with a few less traumas. So thank you very, very much, Sue. I love them. They're delightful. I've made several of them. The other day, Maxwell and I, we went to the store, and we were having a chat, as we do, as you know, our dear Maxwell. And in front of us was a fairly large truck pulling a trailer with a very large garden shed, really pretty large garden shed on it. You know, from Home Depot or something. Maxwell, just as funny as could be, goes, "Oh, that's our next house." Oh, we did laugh. I'm like, "Yeah, that's a good one. That'd be nice, wouldn't it?" We went from a 4,500 square foot home to a 2,400 square foot home to a 400 square foot basement. And he said, "And this garden shed." I'm like, "That looks really nice." It's all right. And he always goes, "It's fine. It's fine. We're doing fine. We're blessed to have what we have," right? And then last but not least, I'm telling you, this is from Karen in Sydney, Australia. I got people all over the world. How cool is that? I just think that is so awesome. I am so appreciative of that. This is a Dear Jean quilt. Wow. Karen, this is absolutely beautiful. As you know, I had done a sampler medallion quilt, my Dear Jean quilt, a whole series. You can see my playlist. That was a project that took about 6 to 8 months. And quite a few people have made it, had followed along with me. And I had done a pretty long video when everybody sort of finished it as I had done months ago. But other people haven't obviously been able to work on it as quickly as I had finished it. And so I'm getting dribs and drabs here of my Dear Jean quilt. And this is from Karen. I just love making my version of your Dear Jean quilt. Mine is waiting to go in turn to go to the long arm quilter. I have a very small space I work out of, and I don't fancy wrestling with the quilt in my small space. Thanks for all your videos. Well, to make even the quilt top in a small space. And I'm going to put all of these pictures here from Karen for her Dear Jean quilt. Then I got another. Then I got another email. The leftovers from the applique box were too pretty to throw away, so I'm going to use them as quilt labels. I'm so happy that your quilt got accepted into the quilt show. Thank you so much, Karen. You've been following after a tornado and a flood hit our home, and it's uninhabitable now. Back in September, I had, when we were in our home before the disaster, I had been accepted into a quilt show, my Dear Jean quilt. I had sent it, and in those few days that everything was lovely. That was before flood, and then after flood, the quilt show was there. I didn't feel like going. I just did not feel like going. It was fresh, the disaster, and yet Ian and Jen and Maxwell and our family were like, "Mom, go see your quilt hanging up," and we did, and I did it. So nice to be able to see my Dear Jean quilt hanging up in a quilt show. It was a bit of a sunny spot in a little bit of a cloudy few months there for a while. But Karen has shared, this is beautiful, and it's blue, and I quite like it. It is lovely, beautiful, beautiful. That was really a nice pattern. That was really, actually I'm looking at it like, I actually thought of that. There wasn't a pattern. I sort of made this up on the fly. Well, I sketched it out at the beginning. If you guys have followed, that's really a nice quilt. Wow, I did really good. I'm humble too, right? I don't want to go too long, but I think you have seen the quilt behind me. I'm changing it up. I've got all these quilts. I'm going to change it up. This quilt that I did, the center was a vintage tablecloth. If any of you have, or on eBay, or your grandmom or your auntie is getting rid of vintage tablecloths, as you can see, this tablecloth was from about, I guess, 1940 or 1950. I quite liked it. The reason I like vintage linens, i.e. tablecloths, is they were designed with a beautiful design already done. There's my one block. It looks so pretty, doesn't it? And all I did is I added the blocks around it. I did what was called an ice cream cone border. I did this years ago, and I did have a template, I don't know where that is, or a ruler to make the ice cream cone scalloped border. Even though the quilt worked up very, very quickly because most of it was done using a tablecloth. So that's that project. I think, as you can see, this is my my Truelove Challenge quilt, my zebra hanging up. I'm hanging stuff up on the gray walls down here. And yeah, I was getting fed up. So I'm doing my paint by numbers. I have some quilts. So I'm decorating the space that we have here, and the blessed space we have here. And the future, we take, as I always say, we take one day at a time. Today's a good day. I've had to share some lovely things with my friends out in YouTube land. So again, I appreciate all of your love and your prayers. And as always, love from the Trueloves. Bye-bye.